Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we love you.
Hello, I am Dr. Pat with Living in Your Purpose. My show is not just my brand or my ministry, but it's something that I live by. It is my desire to be a blessing to entrepreneurs or even businesses that have already been in existence, but trying to take it to a next level. So we provide a wealth of knowledge, information that otherwise you would have to really pay for. So don't miss me on Tuesdays, actually March 2nd, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we will be discussing the hemp industry. So I'm looking forward to engaging with everyone. You will be allowed to actually call in and ask questions. My guest that night will be none other than Mr. Reginald Ring with Green Toad Hemp. It's going to be a dynamic show, one that you don't want to miss. So don't forget to live in your purpose, because I am living in mine. I am Dr. Pat, and be blessed. Hello, I am Dr. Pat with Good evening and welcome to Living in Your Purpose. I am Dr. Pat. No more use for our introduction. I've already said that. I want to get right into my guest. I have none other than Mr. Reginald Ring. He is with Green Toad Farms. The brother is dynamic. He has a lot going on. It is his vision to become the godfather of hemp. So if for all of those that want to get into this industry, or you're trying to get into becoming a grower, this is the information you need. He will definitely leave information how you can actually reach out to him. And coming soon, he's actually going to have his own talk show. So without further ado, how are you doing?
I'm great, thank you.
That's
How are you?
good.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome, you're welcome. So tell me, who is Mr. Reginald Ring?
Wow, you know what? I am a person that my parents always used to say just had undying ambition. And unfortunately, that has never left my system, even though I had a very long corporate career as a senior level executive. I ran all Walmart stores in Illinois for years.
Wow.
Then I retired from Walmart and I ran a Ross store here and expanded Ross across the state of Georgia. Did that, retired in 2017. I owned some juice bars since 2015 in Atlanta, and I sold those in 2019 just before the pandemic hit, so I could put all my focus on my hemp company.
Really, really. So hemp, for all of those that don't understand hemp, what is hemp?
So hemp is one of in the cannabis plant family, right? So marijuana is a made-up name. Hemp is the actual plant, whether it's cannabis, marijuana, whether it's for CBD purpose or whatever it is. It's all hemp. The difference is genetic companies breed them to either produce a high level THC or lower level THC. So you can think of the way they list hemp now is almost like saying light beer versus regular beer. So hemp is like a light version of regular marijuana plant. That species.
So what made you want to get into this field?
You know what? When I had a couple spine surgeries, major spine surgeries, and I'm on a lifetime prescription for probably any opioid I can get.
Oh
because
my
of those
God.
surgeries. So at one point, they had me on hydrocodone, morphine, and a muscle relaxant, all addictive drugs, all at the same time. And I could not function. I was hallucinating. I mean, it really messed up my whole life. So someone introduced me to CBD,
Okay.
and fortunately, it was from a good CBD company, good product.
Mm-hmm.
I started taking that because I could not get off those opioids. Once as I tried, my body wouldn't allow me to stop taking it. I kept getting sick, I was craving it. The CBD, when I started taking that twice a day, sometimes 3 times a day toward the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
it allowed me to transition off those other drugs. And then it started attacking the issues I was having with the pain, even after the surgery. And I knew then, I'm like, this is incredible. This is a miracle, right? So I knew I had to learn about it. I had to understand what that medicinal medicine was.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I kind of went on my journey for a whole year. I went all over the country meeting with growers that grow that plant for CBD to learn and understand. And at the end of the day, I knew I had to get into business because I knew people needed this product.
Wow.
It was a huge
Wow.
transition that I'm absolutely excited that I did.
So by helping yourself, you're able to help others.
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay. Well, tell us about Green Toad. How did you come up with that name of all names?
So it took me a while. I did a lot of soul searching, but I tell everyone, and my business partner, I talk about this all the time, that I didn't come up with the name. God gave me that name through a vision, because everything I do in this company is done through God, right?
Okay.
I even got tattooed the word faith in the scriptures, Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1.
Yes, sir.
Because when I started this company in 2019, I started with everything from scratch.
Mm.
I didn't even have a license. I didn't know I was going to be able to get a license. I totally operated on faith. And every step I made, if there was a missing piece to cross that bridge, God put that piece in place for me. And I was able to cross it. So consequently, as a result, and believing in myself and that God will make all things possible,
Mm-hmm.
I was able to build a company from zero to our most recent evaluation. It puts us at several millions of dollars value
Wow.
in such a short time because of what we've grown. And our customer and client base is growing tremendously on both the retail side and the wholesale side.
Okay. That's called purpose.
Absolutely.
Purpose. So would you say this industry is actually your purpose, or is it your side hustle, hobby?
It's absolutely my purpose. One thing that this industry has allowed me to do is really attack a couple areas. It allows me to create something that can really help people. And it allows me to create that oil and that medicinal medicine or treatment that's normally not affordable, right? So as a farmer, we can control the pricing. So now we're able to make this product very affordable. A product we sell for $100 is on the market for $200 to $300, right? We're able to sell it for $100 and give the customer a great product. This industry also allows me to build a company that I can pass down to my kids and my grandkids, and that'll go on for generation to generation.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
So it's absolutely my purpose, and it was something that was given to me, through my dreams and vision, which I can only contribute that to God, that allowed me to not only create something that's going to benefit millions of people, but every little aspect of it. The point you made with creating a logo that could be a household name is all proven to come true in everything that we do.
Wow, that is incredible. Habakkuk 2 and 2 says, write the vision and make it plain.
That's right.
So that's what you did.
Right.
So tell us more. I know you have the dispensary and you have the farm, of course. So with no middleman.
No middleman. That's correct.
That is genius.
That's correct.
That is genius.
And
for
everything
real.
that we do, we build it to eliminate the middleman. We want to control every vertical. We didn't start out wanting to go in all these different verticals. As we move forward, we realized it made more sense. And ultimately, it did make more sense, especially from a financial standpoint. Now we're becoming the leader in certain areas that we never even anticipated we would become the leader.
That is incredible. So what makes your product better, different than any CBD that you can get from the local gas station, vape shop? What makes yours better?
So we're in Meta, so everything's better in Meta. That's first.
Oh, excuse me. Okay. All right.
That's the first thing.
Okay.
But, you know, being the first licensed grower in Georgia, everybody prior to when we were licensed, every retail store or gas station or wherever it is, they have to get their product from other states.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what you're getting, really,
True.
what their SOP is, how they grow that plant. That plant has to be grown organically, 100%.
Really?
Yes, because you cannot use any chemicals at all. It's a mandatory requirement you grow it organically because we're taking that into our bodies and as a medicinal solution. And you don't know if where you buy that product or where they bought that product from, if that farmer followed the licensing guidelines 100%. You know, we get a perfect bill of health every time we get an inspection from the state. Matter of fact, the state uses us as an example now for other people interested in licenses. They have them call us, or they tell them to come look at our process because we follow an SOP that's strictly organic, that's going to produce a great product. So when you look at the lab reports on our product compared to other products, it tells the whole story of how great of a product we have. You can't flip it any different than that. And then you're also getting it from a licensed grower. So there's no middleman. So when they buy our product, you're buying directly from the source, the people that grow it, that birth that product. So it'd be like buying wine directly from the vineyard. It's the same concept. Or, we talked about Purdue chicken, you get directly from the chicken farmer.
Right.
So you get the actual product directly from the source that creates it. So you're gonna save on price, you're gonna get the best quality. And then we allow people to tour our farm and facility too, so they can see what they're taking. They can see where that product is produced.
Wow. So do you have any plans, like other farmers, that you might want to go in livestock or other type of things?
Probably not livestock or anything else. We really enjoy the hemp industry, so our goal is to go into ultimately medical marijuana, get that license.
Okay.
So we'll probably transition more toward that than toward some of the other areas of farming. And that's kind of why we're building our indoor grow facility, getting that up and running, because we really want to advance even more into the cannabis industry.
Okay. And what about the states that have, I guess a proper way of saying it, the highest THC level? Are you looking to get into that or to take hemp into those areas too to be able to compete with that?
So we're competing now with other states because we have customers, retail customers and wholesale customers from other states that are ordering from us because they want that Georgia grown hemp. And we're the only certified Georgia grown grower in the state right now. And so customers are really attracted to that and that Georgia grown branding. And that's the specific labeling and branding that's owned by the state that really carries a lot of weight across the country.
Wow. That is interesting. So your mission is to go into other countries?
Ultimately, we are working on an expansion now in Arkansas. So I have applied for my growth license in Arkansas, and we're working with 3 cities there. All 3 cities have black mayors that want to help the black farmers. And so we're actually gonna be helping get their black farmers up and running in there. And we're gonna open a big indoor grow facility on the port of one of the cities. The city is actually we're working a deal with them to get this 30,000 square foot port building.
You're on your way. You are really on your way, I promise you. And you're in Texas already.
We are, but we haven't done anything with that land yet, but we will, and that's where we're gonna grow for fiber, and grain.
Okay.
And it's gonna be all strictly male plants. There's a lot less labor involved with that, because you just let them grow.
Wait a minute, you just blew my mind for a minute. So let me make sure I got this right. When you're dealing with the hemp and the plants, male plants is where your fiber come from?
Right, because male plants, they're not gonna produce the CBD oil that you want. So that's your female plants that creates that part of the life from the plant that sustains our life. The male plants are good for fiber. You can make hemp creek, you can make hemp wood, you can make all that stuff. And they grow a lot bigger too, so you can get a lot of salt from those plants, because if you just let them grow, they'll grow pretty big, especially if they're good strain.
So the male plant is not 100% useless.
No, it still, it still carries everything that's female other than the CBD side. You can have THC in the stalk. You have CBD in the stalk too, in the leaves, but it doesn't produce buds to the point where you can get CBD out of it and stuff like that.
Wow.
And then if you grow it around your female plants, they will pollinate the female plants and stop them from producing CBD and push it into seeding. And so then your female plants become worthless.
That is incredible. So have you thought about getting into the cosmetic industry?
We're actually, the lab that processes our plants and converts it to oil.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do a line of skincare products.
Really?
And they're going to put our oil in the products. It's going to be about 12 items to start with. I'm just working on naming it right now. They've already got the oil. I have to design the label for them, and they're going to white label it and everything. But it's going to be our brand.
You're going to be a monopoly.
Yeah, we're trying to cover every area and push out products that it's hard to find in the CBD industry that works. So we've got capsules that no one else carries. So a whole lot of different things that we're formulating and pushing out that no one else is pushing out there right now.
Okay. What do you think about CBD in foods? And I'm not talking about edibles. I'm talking about like regular vegetables and in your cooking process. And
yeah, some other countries, they already do it.
Really?
We have to wait for the FDA to approve it
for
food, drinks on a larger commercial scale. It's already out there, but it's not approved for a larger commercial. In other words, you won't see it in Walmart. If you see hemp in Walmart, it's hemp derived from the seeds, not from the bud, CBD oil from the bud. Those are two different potencies.
That's a waste of money to even buy it from them.
I mean, it still works. Hemp derived seeds work. It's a good item.
Does it
really? It doesn't compete with the actual oil. So it's two different ballgames, right? And so once the FDA approve it, you're not going to have enough growers out there to grow this stuff to supply to Walmart, the whole
or
food,
fast enough. Amazon,
everybody, and Whole Foods. The minute FDA approve it, they're gonna have it all in their stores because of co-founder and CEO of Whole Foods, speaks at the MJ Biz every year. He loves the cannabis, hemp and cannabis industry. And he's waiting for it, right? And you have many other company leaders that are waiting for it. We're just waiting on the FDA. And they've already said they have no issues with it, but it's all political. So the political money is what's going to determine how fast they move on that.
But then you're gonna have a supply and demand problem.
Yeah, they don't think about that. But here's the other catch. Other states are building up, preparing for that. Georgia's not quite there yet. We are. We're building up, preparing for it. But Georgia's not quite ready for that boom yet, unfortunately.
They need to get ready.
Right. So if it happens next week, we as a state would probably be left behind, where other states like Kansas and those states where they got a ton of licensed growers that are well positioned to grow, those are the states that's going to get a lot of those contracts up front because they have the acres to grow.
Okay, well, am I accurate by saying this? Georgia, you still have the weather to be able to grow when other states can't, even though people are going in containers, they're going in warehouses and barns. So wouldn't that still make the South have a leverage above others because of their winter?
It does. We can get 2 crops a year. Most states can only get 1, and that's a summer crop. We can get 2. We're gonna do a April planting, 10 acres, and we're gonna do it with what we call autoflower. So it'll take about 60 days for those plants to grow from seed to full grown. And then we're gonna harvest that and do a summer planting, which would be the main planting. We're gonna do that in June. That grow is gonna take about 3.5 months because it's a different strain that you have to use during the different climate periods. And so you don't wanna really use autoflowers in the summertime because of the heat, and it may not do well in that heat. So the strains we're gonna use, it's gonna take them about 3.5 to 4 months to grow. But in the early grow, we got 60 days to get those grown.
So you plant the ground?
Yes, and then our indoor grow will be year round, so we'll get 4 crops out of that.
Okay.
Because we can grow year round. But outdoor, we can get 2, and like I said, other states can only get 1. We had a farmer in Arkansas, a black farmer that we visited. The city flew us up there for a few days. And he grew 10 acres, did an early grow last year, 10 acres. And his whole 10 acres died on him. And a lot of it's caused a lack of, now he did have crop insurance, right? So the beauty of the hemp industry versus the marijuana industry is they consider hemp an agricultural item.
Okay.
So we are eligible for the same benefits that the farmer gets with potatoes, tomatoes, whatever.
Gotcha.
So he insured his crop. So 10 acres at $5 a plant, you can imagine how much he paid to grow that much just to lose it all. But he got reimbursement fee. But the reason he lost it, he didn't do his research. He didn't know us at the time. He didn't do his research. And somebody sold him strains that would not grow when it's cold.
Ooh.
And so he bought all these clones, spent, hundreds of thousands on these clones, and they all died because they couldn't tolerate the cold temperature. So we were able to help them understand the differences with that and connect him with genetic companies. So this year, if he decides to do that, he knows exactly what strain he is.
So cloning takes you to the next level
Yes,
because everyone can't do it and not doing it.
that's right. You need to have an agronomist that an experienced MJ grower that knows how to clone and grow these plants that way.
Ooh, this is interesting.
And there's so many different strains out there that it's just amazing. And they all look different. So when we do this first crop, we're gonna be open for touring and everybody gets to see the plants go through the phase up to full grown. And that's where you really see the magic of that plant on how different it look, the texture, the beauty of the buds, all of that's just amazing. The smell.
Look at your
smell of-
passion in your face
Oh,
when
yeah.
you explain
Yeah,
it.
I'm gonna build a yoga stage in the middle of the crops. So there's people that say they want to come out in the morning and do yoga in the middle of the plant to get that aroma. I'm like, yeah, I'm all for it.
Wow. That is
So, because what we're trying to do is take that negative stigma away from the plant.
true.
We've opened up our farm, we've opened up our facility. We want people to get up close and personal and learn about this plant and not fear it and believe all the lies that we're told about it.
Because most people think it's just something to smoke. It
Right.
gets you, it's illegal.
Exactly.
It gets you high and
Exactly.
you're gonna do crimes. And that's all the negative connotation. But when you start teaching people, oh no, this is hemp, and this is, they have hemp.
Right. They don't know. They don't know. And they don't know that, it's all hemp. Again, marijuana made a word, it's all hemp, but there's different levels of that hemp. And regular marijuana joint might have a much higher level of THC, but it may have a lower level of CBD. So the effect's strictly gonna be psychological, where if you got a good hemp plant with a double-digit CBD percentage with that low level of THC, it's gonna give you a different feeling throughout your whole body. You're gonna feel relaxed. It may almost feel the same. But as you may know, but what it's really doing is relaxing your body and it's making you feel really relaxed. It's bringing everything down so that then your body can start healing itself.
Viewers, let me tell you, when I went to his dispensary, he gave me some drops of CBD because my back was hurting me so bad. I could barely stand up. And by the time I got back in the car, I was like, ooh, I feel like I'm floating. All I did was put the drops under my tongue.
Right.
My back stopped hurting.
Yeah.
It was not hurting, but I was just like, ooh. Everything was lovely.
Oh yeah.
And then I had them dying laughing because I was like, you guys may be high. And I've never ever felt that before because I've never smoked nothing in my life.
Right.
So yeah.
It definitely will a good quality product, you're gonna feel it. Yeah, you definitely gonna feel it.
Yeah, so that's like my medicine because I'm not gonna get those injections in my back.
Nah, they don't, don't do much for you anyway, those injections.
Oh, God.
The CBD oil attacks inflammation. Inflammation is the enemy of the body.
Yes, it is.
And that's what CBD attacks.
Now tell us what is CBD?
So CBD is just a cannabinoid, and there's actually hundreds of them within that plant.
Mm-hmm.
We've only attacked a few handfuls. So
Okay.
All of it are cannabinoids, even the THC is a cannabinoid. But you have a CBG, which is a very strong cannabinoid that we're able to grow now. You have, of course, CBD. You have CBN that they're trying to figure out that one, but that one's focused more on sleep. We have something right now that they extract from the plant called Delta 8, which is a big buzz right now because Delta 8 is pure THC that's extracted from the plant in the lab. And it's extracted through Delta 9. So Delta 8 really gives you more of that head, right? So if you're smoking a Delta 8 joint or taking a Delta 8 tincture, you're gonna get that same feeling like if you were smoking a very good regular MJ because it is THC. The reason the government can't ban it right now, they did ban it 4 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
We had to pull it off our shelves and our website. The courts gave us a stay and said, no, they can't ban it because the way the law is written, we could sell any part of the plant. And the Delta 8 is coming from the plant.
Wow.
So they would have to completely change the 2018 bill in detail all of that in order to ban us from being able to sell Delta 8. So it's the biggest boom out there right now because people are able to smoke Delta 8 or take it as a tincture and get the same feeling. We even have it in vapes and everything else. So cannabinoids is just I challenge everyone to look it up and you'll see how many there are. And then when God created our bodies, he created us with cannabinoids, CB1 and CB2. He created a plant to feed that, right? But it was man over 80 years ago that banned the plant. So what happened when they banned hemp over 80 years ago, you've seen all the medical conditions of humans go, it took a straight line up. Cancer, Parkinson, Alzheimer's, all those diseases, arthritis, just took a straight turn directly up. It didn't go on a curve or scale because they used to use it back then. When that was taken away, medical issues just went up the roof because people couldn't replenish their body with that.
So, is that what the native Indians were smoking in their bagpipes?
Absolutely. Yeah.
My grandmother on my mother's side is full Cherokee, and my grandfather is full Blackfoot. And my mom used to always tell me about her smoking her bagpipe and stuff.
It's probably one of the most effective herbs out there. And that does everything, not only for the body, but for the plant. Because when you plant hemp, it cleanses the soil. And that's why your soil got to be good because it takes everything out of it. But it's very good for the plant. And that's why big companies are fighting it. It takes so you can make hemp paper. And hemp paper is the best paper out there, biodegradable, good for the planet. It's a better paper, healthier paper. 1 acre of hemp, it could make the same amount of paper as 6 acres of what they do now to cut down to make paper. So from an environmental standpoint, it's a much better option. Problem is those companies don't want to have to retrofit their whole company with new equipment that can cost them millions and millions to compete with that. So they just rather fight us through legislation.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because they can't figure out how they can get the money from it or tax you or do
Exactly.
something.
And you know how politics work. The next best thing is use your money through politics to fight what you don't want to compete with.
Exactly. So I guess it would be smart to say when people are running for these offices and Senate seats and Congress seats, especially here in Georgia, to find out where they are on growing hemp.
That's right. And that's probably one of our biggest challenges in the industry is having people that really wear our t-shirt in the hemp industry. Politicians that wears our t-shirt promoting us and protecting us as growers and processors. And because they make laws that they don't know about. Somebody just get paid by a lobbyist, hey, we want this to be banned in the industry, and they put it in the law that they want to get passed, and nobody really knows it's in there or know how it affects the industry because of their lack of knowledge.
Yeah,
right? So those
right
politicians, they don't even read that stuff.
No.
So we built some great partners right now. Senator Lester Jackson is a great partner for us now.
Okay.
And we have a U.S. Congressman that's been out, and he sent his legislative team out to visit us. So we're getting a lot. Senator Jackson wants to bring Warnock to visit the farm and facility, since both of them are on the Ag Committee.
Yes.
That could really help us with those laws. But there's a lot of that going on with crazy legislation.
I think you guys should make an appointment with Congressman David Scott.
Okay,
His babies is the veterans.
right.
The veterans, if they need anything, they need some CBD.
Yes, they do.
And to get them right and maybe even provide jobs for them on the lands and stuff. He would do anything.
Yeah.
He would get you the money, the grant, whatever you need, long as it's going to help the veterans. You can get them out from under those bridges and help them so much. And because a lot of them have habits.
Right. Right.
They with that post-traumatic stress
right.
syndrome and all those things from being in a war, this would help them. So maybe if you guys put together a great proposal and send it to him and then set up a meeting with him, because he is big. His office is right here. This is his district.
I need to definitely set that up, because we actually have a tincture that's being produced right now. It's a Delta 8 6,000 milligrams that we're gonna dedicate to veterans.
Really?
Because it's really gonna be focused there on
Congressman
PTSD,
David Scott,
things
yes.
like that, but it's gonna be labeled for our veterans, and it's gonna be dedicated to our veterans.
He's definitely the one you need to talk to for real. He will, oh my goodness, open some doors for you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Wow, this is amazing. So tell everyone how they can reach you.
So, 2 ways. You can come visit our dispensary down in Metter, Georgia, at 702 Southwest Broad Street. That's Metter, Georgia, 30439. We're open from 11 to 6, Monday through Saturday. We have an online dispensary at thegreentoadhemp.com. You can go online, you can order stuff there. We got new products we're uploading every single week to add to our assortment of products. And you can contact me directly. I do answer my cell phone, 678-367-8557. If you're interested in taking a tour, or if you're interested in learning how to become a grower, or learning what you can do to get involved in this industry and become a hemp entrepreneur, I can help you with that as well. You can contact my business partner as well, Dwayne Hirsch. His cell is 630-728-2414. Dwayne's very knowledgeable in the industry as well, and also welcoming to give you a tour, show you the facility, and help you out as well. Our goal is to create as many hemponaires as we can, hemp millionaires, black millionaires as we can. And we know that this industry is well prepared to do that.
Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot. Well, I would think it would be robbery to not talk about purpose. As you know, my whole focus, my brand is called Living in Your Purpose, and I believe that your gifts make room for you.
Yes, definitely.
Purpose is our very reason we exist. It was the very reason that God created us. So, with you saying that you are living in your purpose, tell me, how do you know?
Wow, that's a great question, because I mentored a lot of folks across the country. Even when I was a corporate exec, I mentored a lot of people. And I tell people, when you're living your dream, or you pursuing what makes you happy, not what you just gonna get paid for, but
Right.
pursue what makes you happy, the money will come. Then you're gonna see doors opening as long as you stay positive. Because I'm a true believer in the law of attraction in
Yes.
the universe.
Yes.
So as long as you're pursuing what makes you happy, and you believe that's your purpose, you'll know you're right, because all the doors are gonna be opening. That doesn't mean you're not gonna have some failures.
Right.
Failure's okay, because that's a prerequisite. It's part of the process to success, right? But you're gonna have a lot more doors opening than closing.
Absolutely.
And you're gonna start seeing that transition to a successful whatever it is you're doing, to the point you're gonna just be amazed yourself. And that's how you know then you're living in your purpose.
Awesome answer. Awesome. So true. I couldn't even say it better myself. So many people just be like, I wake up in the morning, I think about it. I go to bed, I think about it. But you broke that down so eloquently. I thank you. I thank you. Wow. Okay. Okay. So tell me, what do you think about because we talk about a lot of stuff. What do you think about our present um president? Do you like what he's doing?
I do. I'm glad to get back to some normalcy from that standpoint, even though uh, normalcy from a point of just hearing words and getting promises. I don't want that noise. I want
Right.
some real action. If you're
Right.
gonna talk about reparation, let's take some real action. If you're
Absolutely.
gonna talk about the minimum wage, let's take some real action on it. If you're gonna talk about helping low-income communities and helping people within those communities find a way to build self-sufficiency, let's really take action to do that. My only issue with the Democratic Party is I always call them the Democratic plantation. Because, and don't get me wrong, I love a lot of the Democrat politicians, but I do like the Republican politicians too. But I don't believe that we should continue to do things that will hinder people in order to keep their votes. I think we gotta transition them into prosperity, and we'll still get their votes to do that, right? That's just my opinion, and I just think that getting back to some of this normalcy and not using race as a way to win elections is the way to go. I mean, this past 4 years was absolutely insane. I could care. Somebody said to me, a brother said to me, Trump is good for me as a businessman, but not as a black man. And I said to them, to me, there's no difference, right?
Yeah.
So he has to be good to me on both sides in order for it to work, right?
Mhm.
It can't just be about the money. It's got to be about the entire package. And I think Biden will at least attempt to bring that, but we as people are going to have to help that along as well. He can't do it by himself,
No,
and our
he
politicians
can't.
can't do it by themselves. We got to help make those things happen and come true.
Well, how do you feel about theocracy?
Theocracy.
Yes, theocracy. Look it up, theocracy. Theocracy is a government that's based on God's laws.
Right.
It's one law for all. I mean, we've tried Republican, we've tried Democrats, we've tried liberal and conservative. Why not theocracy?
Because you have two parties now and a half a party, and they can't even agree on anything then.
Exactly.
And the thing is, the disagreements are so different. So they're so far apart. It's like they're not even close.
No.
Everybody thinks so far apart, and it's almost like you can never even get to a point of theocracy until you can get to a point where people just function in the political world with some form of integrity. They can't even do that to even,
No.
to even move towards something that will make more sense.
I like that answer too. You made me think about something. I never thought about that. Democrats, everything they do is based on winning the vote and supposedly helping the people, but there should be more of a shift, teaching people how to shift.
Right.
Okay, we're giving you stimulus, we're giving you this, we're giving you the tools to be able to survive, but show us what you're doing with it other than going to Walmart buying TV. Or going buying your man some some PlayStations and stuff. Take that money, let it help you incorporate, do an LLC, do articles of incorporation, whatever you need to do. Take that business whatever you think, even if it's the smallest thing, if you know how to braid hair, okay, become a braiding corporation
That's
and
right.
incorporate yourself and get an EIN and then get a grant where you can go to hair mills and have your own hairline. There's so many things you can do. Don't let the government just keep putting a Band-Aid on you. You got to get up yourself.
That's right.
And do some things to provide. I tell everybody with COVID-19 is a horrible thing. It took a lot of lives and from loved ones and friends, but it also made you an entrepreneur.
That's right.
It for the first time ever, people went in their kitchen and they invented some things that they needed to take care of their children, but it's making room for them.
That's right.
So there's always some good in everything.
It is, and if you thought about being an entrepreneur back in 2018, beginning of 2019, and then COVID hit, and you had your LLC set up, and you were doing business, then you would have been eligible for some other business benefits financially that you would have normally not been eligible for.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why we've got to always, you have to have multiple streams of income.
You have to.
But the other thing, I used to work with groups years ago in Atlanta where we would promote welfare to work programs. And I'll volunteer and help people go from welfare to work. But then I wanted to shift it because it really should be welfare to wealth.
Yes.
Right? Not welfare to work, welfare to wealth. We want to give them, take them out of welfare, give them a means that they could be self-sufficient. But that mentality didn't really kick in. People couldn't grasp that concept and understand it.
You would be amazed. A lot of people can't.
I know, right? I know.
I mean, I talk every day. I was talking to a gentleman, and he was going to work, and I'm like, do you have a contract? Because he said he drives the trucks for rooms to go. He was like, no, I'm working for someone else who has the contracts.
Right.
So I said, well, you know what? Why don't you get your own trucking company? I said, it's nothing to rent a box truck from Penske.
That's right.
You don't have to have none but a Class A license to drive air brakes. And you get some of these contracts.
That's right.
Oh, I don't think I'm ready. That man gave me every excuse in the world. I was like, bye, sir.
Right.
Bye.
Right.
Because I'm tired of talking.
You know, they say you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
For real.
That's kind of that situation.
Oh, I get so aggravated because I go out every day to try to find someone to be a blessing to, and or to give them some kind of niche to help them. Hey, here's my number. I will help you personally, and they don't get it.
They don't get it. They don't get it. The number one reason we don't prosper as Black folks is it's all self-inflicted. We have to get past that first. Until we can get past ourselves, we can't even take on the other barriers that's out there. We got to first get past ourselves.
For real. We're our own personal enemy.
Yeah.
For real. And if Hosea 4:6 ever was true, we are destroyed for the lack of knowledge.
Yes. Well, I think about when I read the Willie Lynch letter on how disturbing that was. And in the letter, he said this will last for 1,000 years or more. We haven't even hit 1,000 years since that letter was written. And you think about that and think about how much effect that really had on us. And I had this conversation with somebody about the words we used to use growing up, and they say sticks and stones may break my bones, but words would never hurt you.
That's
words
right.
is worse than sticks and stones, right? They could tear you down from the brain down. And it's almost like that thing to disarm you, where you believe that if I say things to make you believe you a certain way, that doesn't hurt you. The only way I can hurt you is if I hit you with a stick. No, if I hit you with my words, I'm going to do you a lot more damage to you if I can tear you apart mentally.
That is so true.
Yeah.
That is so true. That
So,
is so true.
As people, we got to understand words are powerful.
They are. I love words. I've studied etymology since probably about 9 years old. So I'm always studying words and the origins and how they derive. And I teach people, okay, to take this word that you otherwise would not even think, even have a definition,
Right.
and to realize it means something.
That's right.
So, words give me joy.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
I love words.
Absolutely.
Growing up, I used to study the dictionary, and I would learn a new word, break it down to its origin every day. That's how you teach yourself.
That's
So
true. That's
I
true.
love to hear people talk because I'll just be sitting there just breaking down what they're saying.
Mhm.
And then I know if they're full of crap or not.
Right, that's right. Well, and again, like you said, they said you want to keep a secret from us, just put it in a book because we just don't read.
And that's all.
And that's true.
That's awful.
If you go to go to a club right now and take all the adults in there and ask all of them, if there's 300 in there, how many of you guys read a book in the last 30 days? You might get one. You know, if they're a college student, they'll say yes, me. But other than that, we don't read. We don't continue to exercise our mind with knowledge.
And that's awful.
Right.
How can you inculcate when you're not putting anything there?
That's right.
Nothing but foolishness, garbage,
Right.
something that has no substance.
Right.
I mean,
right. We read the garbage on social media, and most of that stuff not even true. But we don't read the stuff that's really going to help us prosper.
Absolutely.
And I think that's where the transition period is going to have to change for us as a people. But we've got to become entrepreneurs and take life into our own hands, control our own destiny, and find our purpose. Once we do that, then a lot can change. Because the last thing I'll say about that, the one way you get respect from a white man is when you can control Wall Street.
Absolutely.
And if you can't snap your finger and Wall Street numbers collapse, then man, he won't respect you. But when the day comes that you can do that, that's when you get the respect.
You'll get the respect, and then they're going to try to send someone in to infiltrate you to bring you down.
Right.
That's what they do.
Right.
To every powerful person that have ever raised up, had a following, they're going to send the enemy in to see how they can take you down.
That's true.
Because they don't want anybody to take their rulership from them, and not knowing their 6,000 years is up. Their rulership is up.
Yeah.
They don't want to give it up. Like 45, he didn't want to give it up.
No, he didn't. He did everything in his power to stay in power.
Okay, because he's not prepared for what's getting ready to happen to him. And even if he doesn't even do a time in jail here in the States, there's an international warrant.
Yes, well, there's a former president, I think in France or somewhere, he just sent him to jail. So
exactly.
Yeah.
International law is no joke. That international prison that sits out there in the middle of the ocean, a lot of people don't even know about it. They think, Leavenworth is the one. No. There is world prison. And when Iran, Syria, they're not playing with him. They're not quiet for no reason.
Right.
I don't want to be him for nothing in the world. But you know what? When he was holding that Bible, he should have been reading it and asking for some help. But anyway.
Yeah.
Guys, with that being said, I thank you. I thank you for coming on every week, thinking it's not robbery to be a part of living in your purpose. I hope there is something that has inspired you to get up and live in your purpose. So with that being said, you have a good night, and I'll see you next week.